Hey everyone! Today I'm making a graduation card using this stamp set by Waffle Flower. It's called Graduation Sentiments, and I'm going to use that one there. And then this die by Uniquely Creative. It is called Stacked Stars, and I already have a bunch of them die cut. And I'm making this based on the challenge number 579 sketch from Clean and Simple Colors and Sketches. I'm going to add some stars in the opposite corners there. So I'm going to start by stamping the sentiment. I've chosen the one that says Congrats Grad. So I'm just placing my card in my MISTI and lining up, just kind of getting an idea of where the groups of stars will be, just to make sure that I have my sentiment positioned where I want it. And I'm going to stamp that with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and my ink pad's a little low, so I did it a couple times. And then honestly, probably the most time-consuming part of making this entire card was trying to figure out the positioning of the stars. I just played around with them, and there's different sizes, and I have them die cut in gold, silver, and black. I knew I wanted more stars and larger stars in that bottom corner and smaller ones in the top. I wasn't sure if I wanted like 4 or 5 on the bottom and maybe 3 or 4 on the top. But as I continued to play around there, I just felt that it needed something a little bit extra behind the stars. So I'm going to take all the stars off in just a moment here. And I have got some Winsor & Newton gold ink. So I'm just giving that a good shake. And then taking a paintbrush and just adding a few little splatters, just covering up kind of the middle of the card. And then I thought I was done, and then I realized, you know what, I want a few larger splatters, so I brought it out again and added just a couple more. And I'm happy with that. It's just kind of a subtle gold splatter effect. But while the ink was drying there, I decided to just kind of try to line up some of the stars and again get a feel for where I wanted them, how many of them I wanted. I definitely wanted to make sure that I had some black, gold, and silver in each cluster, but I really think that larger star in the top corner is too big for that, so I'm going to take that one off and just play with some smaller ones there. And I think I'm finally ready to start gluing them down. So I'm bringing out my Barely Art glue, and I'm not gluing them down exactly how I had them positioned on the little practice run there. I just know those are the stars that I want. And so I'm just adding glue to them and sticking them down wherever I felt they should go. I don't think there's ever really a right or wrong to this. I know I do second guess myself with it a lot, but really art is subjective, and it could really be on there anyway and look just fine. So I'm working on the top cluster, and with both the top and the bottom, I did make sure to overlap some of the stars so that they're hanging off the edge of the card. And then I will trim the excess off when I'm done. So I think this is the last star going down. And then I'm going to take the scissors and trim off all the little bits. And then I decided I do want a sentiment on the inside of this card as well. So I'm bringing out that same stamp set again, and I am using the stamp that says, "We are so proud of you." And again, I'm stamping that with the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And then I thought it would be a nice touch to bring in a few of those stars into the inside of the card. So I'm just seeing which ones I had left that were already cut and placing them around and seeing if I like it. And I did like that positioning, so I'm just gluing that larger one down and then gluing the 2 smaller ones on the other side. And that is it. So here is the finished card. I'm just going to hold it up so you can see it kind of shine. A couple of those papers were metallic cardstock, so you can see the silver and the gold, mostly the gold, shining there. But I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I'm not that familiar with doing cards from sketches yet. I've only done it a couple times now, but it's quite a lot of fun. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, peaceful day.